It's showtime. Hey, folks, family, bring it all in. Bring it all in. Listen, we got us another banger coming in through. One we're gonna be able to finally get a touchdown with one of our favorite redhead cougars, Miss Liz. She has blessed us yet again with another top-notch interview. Then we're gonna kind of go over our price movements, expectations with our AMC. Look at some other banger technicals as far as Tesla and Google. And why I will be picking up some Google shares as well come tomorrow, just because, like I said, we've got a new big boy in the chamber of the AI field. And as y'all know, I'm teching my tech with a little bit of tech and tech because we're not playing around with it. But without further ado, can somebody cue that wind effect? Bring it in. Bring it in. Bring it in. You got. I don't know what they thought this was. What they thought it was. Yes, sir. Hey, bring it in. Bring it in. Bring it in. Bring it in. Let's get down to it. Like I said, we don't want to make this a 50-minute video.
We should show you a 25 basis point hike expectation in interest rates tomorrow. Here it is on your screen. 98.9% of the market is pricing in that rate hike. But is that it for the Fed for this year after that? The Fed says no, and the market's starting to believe it. To wit, yesterday, Fed funds futures were pricing in a 16% probability of another 25 basis point increase in September. At this hour, that number on your screen.
Guys, and the craziest part is at the end of the day, this is the stuff where I be like a little bit, this is what we call media FUD. At the end of the day, the market doesn't care. I'm just going to tell you like this. The market's going to price it in. Yeah, there'll be some red. That's probably why we've been seeing a little bit of this red in the market in general now. But it prices in. So, like I said, it sets that expectation and it continues that grind, which I don't understand. You know, hey, they've gone up 600 basis points, right? 6%. Hey, you know, what's another 20, Meet Kevin says, what's another 25 basis points, 50 basis points? But again, this ties back to when I said the first time when they were like, we had a pause. I was like, guys, this is just you having to wait to finish getting your whooping. Like your mama sent you upstairs and said she gonna get to you. That's worse than just grabbing, getting the whooping right there and just taking it to the head. So I said, I don't really think the market is super shocked, but like I said, I also don't think that this is going to be as traumatic an experience in the market as what they're going to make it out to be through media. And while they do all this pumping is when stocks seem to lift off and leave.
Now at 20.6%. It is no secret that the rate hikes have certainly affected the banking sector, but will more rate increases trigger more bank failures? Duke University finance professor Campbell Harvey is joining us now live with a warning of what he calls the
This is another reason why I said, like I said, just personal opinion, not financial advice. This is just how I'm trading. I spoke with one of our family members. He made a valid point. There are a lot of bank stocks and finance stocks that are making money, but I just can't trust the financial sector right now. I don't have confidence in the financial sector. That's why I'm moving the way I'm moving as far as crypto and investing in the assets that I'm investing in.
Zombification of banks. And Professor, if you haven't heard the news, although I'm guessing you have, it looks like PacWest, according to the Wall Street Journal, is in talks to be acquired by Bank of California. Two regionals that make you wonder, was this really necessary? And are more of these banks in trouble than we know?
Yeah, you see a few cockroaches, and you know there's many more behind the wall. And to think that the three banks that went down in March, that's the whole story, is incredibly naive. So the same sort of dynamics are affecting many different banks. The Fed has hiked rates at a record pace, and that has hit banks in two ways. Number one, profitability, because they pay a short rate and receive a long rate. And number two,
and just in case everybody doesn't know, I hope that y'all are fully aware that what you're witnessing right now in live action is called the centralizing of banks. Just like what we're running the cryptocurrencies for to kind of decentralize, they're going to have about 5 or 6 mega banks. One of the banks that I'm in, JP Morgan, Charles Schwab, was it JP Morgan Chase? Realistically, you can understand as well. there really is no point in having what we have as far as our credit unions and banks that are down the street, because people don't even utilize banks the same way. You don't even really go into a bank 99% of the year because all your transactions can be done online. So there's really no point in having these super small banks, and especially if interest rates are raising, because that's what the whole point of going to credit unions are. So like I said, this is far from over. They had a leg blown off when they lost Credit Suisse and all of that, and that was just patched up. That's never been covered over, which is again why we're investing in these banger companies. As the greatest generational wealth transfer occurs, we are moving the way that we deal with money and monetize and our monetary policies and values. Crypto is the answer. It's the only answer. You may continue, Professor.
As the long rate goes up, it damages their balance sheet. So their investments go down in value as the long rate goes up. But there's more. And the other more factor is commercial real estate loans. So banks are very willing to renegotiate right now because of their exposure.
These right here. Y'all want to see these right here? Will be 5 of the mega banks right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Here you go. This is 5 of them right here. These are the big boys of the banking sector. This is who's buying up everybody who's, I can't say whether or not they're actually collapsing or whatever it may be. But like I said, it's highly ironic that a lot of these banks are highly overinvested into, what they would call crypto and things like that. And then same with what Binance did with FTX, where it's like they start some FUD about crypto. It's going to be very unstable, and these banks go under as people start to run from the banks thinking that they're going to collapse. And just for then the same big banks that were starting the confusion to come buy the bank.
To commercial real estate.
Hey,
the situation's
don't
not
take
good.
me out.
Most people
I'm
know
just laying it out
that
there. You can't
the
talk too many
vacancy
facts.
rate in San Francisco
End up in a submarine
for
somewhere.
commercial real estate is 35%. So there are more shoes to drop.
Yeah, I was kind of.
And these are the foo-foo banks here.
Feeling that in my gut, and then you hear nothing for the past 2 or 3 months, and you think everything's fine. The Fed says it is, but my gut, along with yours, because we talked to you around that time, and you did warn of this, and it's not that anything's failing at the moment, but you're starting to see some consolidation. Maybe that's what's necessary. As we look at inflation, and you're saying the Fed should have stopped by January. So they're way beyond that right now. Can we talk about rental costs in the United States? Because a good chunk of the CPI core even, and also the PCE, personal consumption expenditure number, has to do with what people pay in rent. And that needs to be taken into account. How are they looking at the moment?
Yeah, so it is really interesting, and I'm really glad that you're raising this issue and focusing on the inflation number. So think of it this way. Inflation was 3%, the last print.
Professor looking
the
dead
most
in the
important
camera.
component of inflation is shelter.
I feel like
it's
he's
a little
looking
over
dead at me.
1/3 the cost. Shelter is running year over year in terms of the CPI release at 7.8%.
CPI data right here.
So do a little math. 1/3 times 7.8, that is 2.7% of the 3. So 90% of the inflation print came from shelter inflation that is running at 7.8%. But we know from the data that that's not the case. If you look at surveys of rents, year over year, they're running at 1%, maybe 0%. Housing prices have declined. So
in Birmingham, the city downtown, I cannot agree with that. They definitely raising the price of rent.
Shelter component is lagging. So if it was reflecting what was happening in the market today, the inflation wouldn't have been 3%. It would have been 1.5%, which achieves the Fed's goal and totally undercuts the logic of another hike or maybe a hike after that.
Well, Professor, we're looking at Treasury yields, everything from the 1 month to the 3 month to the 6 month to the 12 month are at 5%. We're calling it the party of 5%. And as you look at what's happening with Treasuries, I do just want to quickly ask you the final question, and that is, do you expect more zombie banks to fail?
Yeah, look, this is really interesting and not widely covered. The money market rates are about 5%. The average savings rate for a savings deposit is 0.4%. And if you go to the too big to fail banks, if you bank with a too big to fail bank, go ask what your savings deposit rate is.
Yeah.
At my bank,
0.04, 0.01.
It
You're
is
getting less
2
than a penny
basis points.
off of what a
0.02%.
You need to get into a CD.
That is a red
They're all
flag.
offering them.
Yeah, so that is a red flag that indicates a deeper problem in the banking system. Yes, of course, the too big to fail banks should have a lower rate because you get an insurance premium, but the gap between 2 basis points and 500 basis points, that is just too big. It is a sign of weakness in the banking system. Something is wrong. We would like to think everything is fine, but something is wrong, and just look at the numbers.
A warning from
this guy. You know, I'm not gonna lie to you. We definitely know something might be wrong, and this guy avidly believes it. This guy has been pulling his hair out behind what's going on.
Professor Campbell Harvey of Duke. Thank you very much. I think. I'm keeping an eye, folks, on PacWest. It has now dropped another % here. It's lower by about 24.7% on news broken by the Wall Street Journal that it's in talks with Bank of California to be acquired.
Thank you for our beautiful redhead Liz. But like I said, all jokes aside, he is stating some real facts that are coming up as far as we are. But everybody's been fully aware. There's nothing that's really surprising us as far as like the understanding that the financial markets are in dismay. Like I said, now I know people can have been, we got a lot of people get distracted by the meme stock things, tech booms, tech movements, but understand, still in the background, still looms the fact that they've got to find a replacement for, one, the financial system, and two, which we don't necessarily know if the dollar will be obliterated. Mass majority of the world use dollar, but obviously there's a shift that's occurring in how we're going to be using cash and what's going to be considered cash. So, that's nothing to be forgotten. That's simply why I'm going into tech things, innovative stocks, things that deal with AI, because those things are going to levy your money and protect it. I can't necessarily say I'm going to go into a retail store or even though Lululemon does hit now. You cannot go wrong. You buy some, if it's a company that sells clothes to ladies or products ladies, or hair care or makeup like Ulta, game changers. But still, even myself there, I'm not going to I figure out how they're going to play the monetary value, if there's going to be a real shift in the dollar value. We've got obviously Fed now to just come out, but I want to see how we're going to integrate this crypto in there. If crypto is going to be like a +1 to the dollar, or if it's going to be like, hey, listen, I prefer to exchange this crypto for this crypto XYZ. But let's keep on dabbling down before we get lost in the rabbit hole of thought. Pulling in our AMC play, guys. We closed at 512, currently sitting at 509 in the market. Obviously, today was just full of just garbaggio. None of this is real price action, real price movement. But like I said, what's going on right now is complete and utter mental warfare. We've already been through this. We've been in this play for 3 years. You already understand what's going on. When everybody knew that what should occurred on Monday, what do? They come down. Fraudulosa brought up a million something shares. Now, burned all those shares. Look, y'all saw that switch, right? That just had 35,000. It ain't 8 o'clock yet, so I guess they still can. There it goes. There's 35,000 that just went out. Look, there, guys. Cost of borrow fee right now, 1,027. They borrowing all these last shares off of. Currently sitting at now 0%. We got a fat goose egg up there as far as shares to borrow. But again, sitting at 1,000% cost to borrow. So that's Zestolomule. I'm just trying to figure out how they're going to try to weasel and how long they can weasel this for. The pressure is too heavy right now, and they don't have a conversion. Conversion is currently halted. Not denied, but halted, so they can't go with that plan. I'm just trying to think of what Adam Aaron could be even thinking in the background, because at this point, they're continuing to play this game, but I guess maybe they are just trying to shake us because they think that Monday, I know everybody's eyes was on it Monday, that maybe they're trying to calm this crowd down, try to deal with this or what, but all they're doing is causing more stress on themselves. They're creating more pressure at this certain facility where everybody knows what's supposed to be happening right now. Our short percent is looking at 53.7%. We should have had us a green day, but obviously, like I said, we're dealing with a lot of fraud. Pulling through with our keynote numbers here. Our short interest back up at 28.11%. That's 34.71% in free float. We're utilizing 82.96% of our shares. And of course, obviously, utilization is really up there at 100%. But you're seeing them do even more dark pool play. Just know that all the price action, all the price move, everything that occurred yesterday, all that volume was just literally shuffled to dark pool. Days to cover sitting at 7 days and 7.99. Somehow slowly following, even though cost of bar is rising. They're saying cost of bar average at 760% with a max at 1,001, which we know that be false now, as later in the day we've accomplished seeing 1,027% actually on basically all the last pickups they got the shares, leaving them with none. Guys, also pulling through. This was for yesterday. One of our family members brought this up as well, so it is known. Guys, we officially, and again, if we are confirmed for today, this will be the 22nd. Yesterday was the 21st birthday of AMC on the threshold list. AMC has been on the threshold list. Now, if we'll see the confirmation tomorrow, as everybody knows, the threshold list reports today's tomorrow. But if it comes out tomorrow that AMC is on the threshold list, which it will be, that'll be 22 days. But as of yesterday, we were on the threshold list for 21. Mind you, 13 or 14 days, there was supposed to be some forced buying back. Hey, somebody make it make sense to me. Put it on through. Oh, do I still have it yet? All right. Just so we can see the desperateness, we've been keeping up with AMC to the moon. A guy off of Twitter, now called X. But we were following how much that Fidelity was offering him. And I was sitting up there yesterday. I was trying to hypothesize, how much money he was making. If he was making 10. So look. And of course, he says up here, he's better than me. Yep. Now I'm ready to share. I'm ready to share the hypothetical income. I will never loan out my shares. Hedges can kiss my peach butt. Never loaning out AMC 8 shares. Hedges be desperate. No fake or text here. Cost to borrow is definitely high. Sucks to be a short seller. Cost to borrow that they offer him now is 142% on his shares. So basically, he probably has about probably about $8,000 worth of AMC if I was just doing some quick maths off of them. And they're offering him, they're basically saying they'll pay him $12,482 right now per month to get his shares right now. He's better than me. I'm not going to lie to y'all. You telling me I can loan the shares for 12 bands? You mean in 2 months, I would have made $24,000 off of loan shares? Guys, they're in a pickle. Now, I don't know why they keep playing this game to death, but why you still have them having to reach out and try to offer people 152%. Obviously, Fidelity's going to take those shares and lend those to these hedge funds that need it for 1,000% cost to borrow. So he's still into getting his money's worth. But now they kicked up to 500,000. This guy accepted. I'm gonna message myself and say you a fool. But like I said, this is just going to show you the depth of how far this stuff is really going in contrast of, where how they make it seem, oh yeah, we're losing price right now with AMC being the #1 popular stock yesterday with what, 400 million volume. Where did 400 million volume go to? Where'd that slide to? What occurred with that? Somebody make that make sense for me. Where's that at? Dark pooled us? All right. Put it on through though. Looking at our Googleia, I want to pull up here. Obviously, just a quick overview of Tesla. Everything's all good. Like I said, we held above that 250 range, which I said everything above that's bullish for us. Tesla's rebounding, obviously, is now starting to form some bottoms. Like I said, we're sitting up at that 264 range. All bullish here. Guys, like I said, by the way the price moves working, obviously, we're going to see when that Fed rate, when is the Fed rate meeting? Hold on here. Is that tomorrow? Federal FOMC meeting. Come on now. Y'all don't have to sell me. Y'all don't have to sell me wolf tickets. Okay. Yep. All righty. So apparently we're having our FOMC meeting tomorrow. So what that basically means is that, still sticking with it, I'm seeing bullish. I'm still bullish about this. We could experience either some turbulence, some greens tomorrow. The market's already accounted for this 25 basis point hike that's coming in, so you really shouldn't see too much of a shake. But, like I said, Jay Powell comes in and says some erratic stuff, obviously. That could sit in the market. So, like I said, we'll expect a little bit of red. But like I said, with Tesla holding above that 250, everything's still bullish. Still a very great point to buy. And again, not financial advice. That's just my opinion on it. Pulling in, though, Google stock up. What is this? In the after hours, obviously, after they had the earnings, they had complete and utter beats with earnings. And they've basically announced their stance. They're moving to the AI space, which is astounding, exactly where Google needs to be, and why I'll be picking up shares tomorrow for it. But basically, just a quick read over. Today's most AI models run in the cloud, where users rent hefty servers from providers like Azure, AWS, and Google to power millions of queries that they might receive every day. Running large language models in the edge could alleviate some of the exorbitant cloud computing costs. So basically, Google announced that they're leaning more towards dabbling into AI, kind of being some competition for in the NVIDIA space, the Intel space, as far as utilizing their cloud base as kind of like a prompt of AI. So we already know that Google is a massive search engine, but they're now going to incorporate that into having like an AI model thing. Like I know they have Bard, I think is Google's. Google has a Bard, which is competition to Chat GPT, but now they're starting to lead even further into making the whole search thing like an AI incorporation. Like I said, this is going to be a massive thing. Just in, Google data centers saw a 20% surge in water. Well, this has nothing to do. This is about, I think this is about the how much it's costing them to use AI or something like that. Irrelevant information. But now, last the point that I saw that was interesting. Everybody take a screenshot of this. If you're not using AI, you're falling behind. Here's 20 tools to future-proof yourself. Get more tools like this by signing up for Superman AI and the world's largest AI newsletter. Basically, y'all can. Oh wow! All right, nope. Get out of here. Get out of here. But basically, I don't know if y'all can see this. I'm a magnify, but these are a bunch of different AI names that help you with certain things. Like, for instance, if you want to make they have Baked, which is the AI that turns your idea into art with AI, right? I saw all this stuff. I was this would be some really good stuff to kind of have pull down. Photo Room AI powered photo studio for e-commerce. There was one that I saw that builds your website for you. Chat GPT Writer, Chrome extension that generates entire emails and messages. Guys, I looked at this, I said, this is actually something that is really powerful as far as we know that we're investing in it, but you should also be utilizing AI in your life and getting ahead of AI and knowing how to use it. That's only going to further help you with not just your job, but if you want to start your own career, if you're starting your own hobbies. Right now at this point, you can't run from it. You might as well embrace it. And that's why we keep saying the greatest generational wealth transfer is underplay. Period. You need to be looking at things like Tesla, NVIDIA, Microsoft, Google, Amazon, Netflix, XRP, Apple, XRP, XLM, HBAR, Bitcoin. Guys, don't miss your thoughts on your yachts. Like I said, we're watching all this stuff. There's always going to be a lot of drama that occurs in the market. But the point is not to be dramaed out. Like I said, while we're watching our AMC play, just know there's a whole lot of money that's going on. And the person, one of our family members told me, it was B. Hayes that had called Carvana. But like I said, let's see if we can go on this 1 hour chart. Even this right here, Carvana down here was somewhere near $3 at the beginning of this year. $6. I think maybe like $6 is where it was around. But now you're looking at 44 bucks. You talking about gains, but I think the low was $3. Guys, there's a bunch of money that's being made. Don't overlook. Put yourself in a box near yourself. Like I said, we're trying to create generational wealth transfer. This stock market thing is a battle of attrition. You fighting every single day against big money to go get your grip, protect your money, and keep it moving to the next day. You know, obviously, we're all going to make mistakes. We're all going to make errors. You can't be 100%. But like I said, I feel like it's a big mistake right now if you're not looking at some of these banger companies and saying, okay, how much is Tesla really going to be worth in 5 years? X, Y, Z. And then, of course, having your account where, like I have my Webull, check out the link in the description if you don't have one, get us some free shares. Use that referral link, yes, sir. But being able to fractionally buy into those if you don't have the money. But also, I use my Webull for my like swing trades and day trades, stuff like that. You know, you need to be able to kind of have those separate, understand the difference between those type of stocks and investing in those different type of criteria. And then your crypto too. You need to have your hands in all of it. But like I said, guys, you know we're going to come back with another one tomorrow. Hang tight. We're trying to watch out to see how long they're going to try to play this game with this with our AMC stock. Because like I said, we know that all this is false. Nobody's selling. There's no movement like this. And we just we're not going to have these glitches up to $8, almost $9 in one bar candle, right? And then you have 300 million volume in a 400 million volume. 340 million volume, you just gonna tell me that it's gonna be, what was it, 30 million volume today? And we had no price, we went down in price both days. Hey, nah, I'm not going for it. Like I said, I want to see how they're gonna play it. And they might get a little push off if there's bad news from that FOMC meeting. They might try to further smother it down and make it seem like it was the stock market dragging down. But like I said, we'll see that tomorrow. We still keeping our heads up, like I said, grabbing our bangers and getting ready for we're in a battle. Who's here to battle? Are you here to battle? All right, that's all I'm saying. Hey, listen, y'all already know what's next. Much love. Y'all know, hey, y'all making a dream come true. I love each and every single one of y'all. Love the comments. Love chatting with y'all. Like I said, hey, we're in this together. Hey, side by sides with our boats are going towards financial freedom, baby. We changing our lives, changing our wives, changing the direction of our families. That's some real boss type stuff, and that's why y'all here. You hear me? That's why I got respect for you. But without further ado, be going ahead and end it. Yes, sir.